All right, we're going to do another technique then. There's some things in this that will be similar, but this is a little different because now what I want you to do is a memory exercise. And in this memory exercise, I'm going to give you a full minute for this one. In this memory exercise, I want you to remember as many things that you've done right, as many things you've done that were good for yourself or for others, as many as you can in this minute. Now, well, here's this is important part of the thing to do for this. No negative stuff is allowed for this 1 minute. You might have all kinds of stuff that you can remember that you didn't do right. Not important right now. Right now, just shove that out if it comes. Don't be afraid of it, just shove it away. As many things that you've done right or that you've done that were good as you can think of in this time. Okay? And allow yourself to feel what that feels like when you remember them. Go ahead. Okay, come on back. Be aware of your body. How did that feel? Did that feel good? Yes.
So you said, don't let any memories of what you've done wrong come into your head. And it hadn't affected any negative memories at all this whole time that we've been talking until then. And then I started to have to, go, no, we're not thinking about that.
Good. Because the practice is to shove it aside. See? Not to be afraid of the stuff coming in. A lot of people, the only way to suppress those things coming in is with muscle tension. And so then you're pretending to feel good about yourself, but keeping away all the bad stuff because you're afraid of it. No, don't be afraid of it. Just when it comes in, shove it aside. That was good practice. Okay, good. Any other questions or comments? How many people felt good with that? Let me have some feedback. Okay, well, nice, good. It does, because your subconscious, your body self, really likes to be appreciated. Really likes to be appreciated. And when you give yourself frequent appreciation, this is simple behavior modification on the simplest level. Everything that you appreciate about yourself, your subconscious repeats and improves on. Anything in your life that you want to develop more, improve a skill, anything like that, give yourself a praise, appreciation, a compliment for whatever degree of ability or skill or goodness was involved. And then your inner self will do more of it. And not only do more of it, improve on it. It's a very natural process. It's one of simple acknowledgement. And I'm not saying, a lot of people will take it for granted. Well, of course I did that. Okay? What I have to say. Of course I love you. Why do I have to tell you? Because it makes a world of difference. Strangely enough, talking to yourself in this way can be the healthiest thing you do. Giving yourself the appreciation and acknowledgement that you might think of giving to someone else. Right? As if yourself needed it or didn't even know you liked it. It might sound silly because you're all one being. Nevertheless, it works. And so going out of your way to remind yourself of the things that you've done right, the things that you've done good, and it's not just for yourself or done well. I mean, even when you've done things for others, that's a good thing, and that makes you feel better about yourself. Right? And acknowledging that to yourself, hey, that was well done. You'd be amazed how that'll perk you up. And when you start feeling bad about yourself, this is a technique, it's called Remember When, and you just whew, yeah, I know I did this and I don't feel good about it, but there was that time where I helped that person who fell down, and then you start feeling good about yourself again. Reminder that you're not a total loss. Okay? Not at all. So this is an excellent technique, but to get good at it, you've got to practice it. Let me give you an example. This is a variation on another demonstration that we do, but it's an important one. So for this, I need a volunteer. Come on, somebody who wants to learn how to feel. Okay, all right, come on up. You're familiar with the demonstration, but that's okay, because this is a different context, okay? So we're going to do a muscle test. Put your arm out. Right? The muscle tests that I do are telling us what he's doing, right? So when I say hold, hold it up strong, okay? Hold. Okay. All right. Now, think of something you've done that you really wish you hadn't done it, or you're not really proud of it. And say, I don't like that. Say out loud, I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Hold. Okay, bring her up again. Now, think of something you've done that you thought was pretty good. And say, I like that.
I like that.
Hold. Oh, boy. Very strong. Excellent. Thank you so much. Give him a hand for coming up here. Okay? When you think about things you've done, when you think about your mistakes, when you think about the things that you've done wrong, when you think about your imperfections, your body tenses up. Each time you do that, your body tenses up. If you do it enough, it'll tense up so much you'll get sick. Or you'll be open to sickness. Your immune system will go down. Each time you feel a sense of appreciation about yourself for something you've done, your body relaxes. It relaxes and remembers how it did that and how to do it again. This is actually the most fundamental way in which we learn any kind of skills. If you criticize yourself in learning, you learned how to do that, usually from your parents, but maybe somebody else. And it is the most inefficient way of learning anybody ever thought up. But when you're a baby and you're learning how to walk, if you're given either, you don't even have to be given a lot of encouragement. If they just let you alone, you'd learn this way. You want to walk because you've seen other people walking and you get where they want to go faster. So you start trying it out. You make it up to your feet and you've got the balance thing worked out. Okay. Now you take a step. And let's say, poof, down you fall. What does a baby do? Gets back up, tries again. What's going on in the baby's mind is, well, that didn't work, discard that. Let's try this. That worked. Remember that. That worked. Remember that one. That worked. Oh, no, don't do that again. That one. Okay. And it learns by remembering what worked and forgetting what didn't work. And in a very short time, the baby's able to walk. Okay? If the baby has parents who are really have a problem with mistakes, oh no, don't do that, that's the wrong thing to do, don't do it that way. The baby's going to remember because of the energy that went in to the criticism or to the fault finding. And it's going to have tension next time trying to make a step because it doesn't want to do what the parents don't like. And it's got that conflict going inside, and it's going to make it more difficult. All learning is slower when people are afraid of making mistakes. Learning how to feel, you have to learn how to feel good about yourself. The much smallest babies, when they're born, they don't have any problem. They don't think of self. Okay? But in our society, we're taught that early, and so we have to. But then we have to have a good relationship with that self in order to be more effective. The things you are best at, absolutely best at, are the things that you don't criticize yourself about. And remember how you feel when you're driving a car. Because that's one common area where people just do it. Okay? Some people have a thrill about how well they drive. That's even better. But as long as you don't criticize, okay, you're going to drive well and not even think about it. Criticism slows down learning, slows down effectiveness, interferes with your relationships, lowers your self-esteem. There isn't a single good thing about it. It's a technique is all it is. Technique to try, at its best, it's a technique to try and get people to do better. At its worst, it's a technique to control people and keep them down. And it's used both ways in this society. Okay? And you don't need it. Yes?
It's interesting. It's kind of like a contradiction that is a reality that when people are doing like a muscle test, when they're holding tension, they are weaker. Whereas more people often think that if they hold strong, but they're going to get stronger, but they don't.
I know, it seems like a contradiction, but I happen to know that your husband is in martial arts.
Yes.
Okay? And in martial arts, people are taught, stay totally loose so that you can move where you want to move, when you want to move, instantly with no interference. Okay? But you've got to be relaxed. And the best of the martial arts training, as well as many other skills and other kinds of performances, they're trained never to criticize themselves because it interferes with performance. Okay? And the best ones know that. And so they don't. The really best ones, a layer on top of that, don't criticize anybody else either, because that affects their performance. We'll get back into that when we do the second half of this. But for the first part, you perform better. Now, we say perform better. Well, I just want to increase my self-esteem. I don't want to be a performer. Folks, you're performers. You are always performing when you are with anybody, doing anything by yourself. You are acting out patterns. And you are doing things. And you are doing things where you want a result from them very often. Okay? Even if that's an emotional result, doesn't matter. That's behavior, and behavior is performance. So let that be okay. Right? But learn how to do it better.